be TC. Inc. bought Art Academy, still a best of 3, so the stakes are as high as ever. Let's see what the result of this one is. Effectively the third set being played between these teams. Taking a look at the team comps here, we are indeed seeing a heavy Splatling, not the Deco version coming out from Jordy there, so no bubbles to be found on their side. The Range Blaster also coming out, so that we will see the Inkstorm come out as well. Moloch going to get an early pick there on the Bap, and a double kill in the form of a trade onto Cassie, but in the meantime, Spanish Army going 3 down the heavy Splatling, the only one still alive. They do have their Stingray at the ready, and they're going to have it for the tower, which is going to be a huge advantage for them. Despite going 3 down, Spanish Army is going to have a chance to recover and get back into mid.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping that Stingray alive for that early push was fantastic decision making from Jord here. The thing about having that Stingray, especially on tower control, is that you need to stay alive with that Stingray. If your team gets wiped, you need to get out of there. You need to stay alive. You need to keep that Stingray up so that you can use it to completely halt their push. And because of that, they're now only dealing with a 92-point push when it could have been like a 70 or a 60.
And it's interesting to note that these comps are identical except for the fact that Stay Fresh Black is running an NZAP and Spanish Army is running the Heavy Splatling. So only one weapon difference for each team here. They're all running the Range Blaster, the Splat Roller, and the Splatter Shot. So both teams with very similar ideas of how to attack this map and mode combination. One just favoring the Stingray and one favoring the Inkstorm instead. Both specials that can have a huge impact on the tower in very different ways. Stay Fresh Black maintaining control of mid here, while Spanish Army is really just holding onto their plat. Molot again trying to make things happen here, trying to get a pick. That's what the Splat Roller is made for. Nice job there avoiding the splashdown as well, but losing Ink, and they're gonna die to the curling bomb. A bit of an embarrassing way to die. Sometimes you just don't even see it until it's too late, or you just can't get out of a situation.
Yeah, the thing about the Splat Roller is that you really need... Oh, wow, that was interesting. Okay. The thing about the Splat Roller is that you really need that map control. If the Splat Roller can move around freely and find those picks, it's devastating. But the way to play against the Splat Roller is just to make sure you're painting really, really well. If you have good map control, the Roller's not going to be able to approach you that well. The only way they can really do it is with like a curling bomb. And at that point, you can really easily see them coming. So it's completely up to like how you control the paint on the map if you want to stop the opposing team's Splat Roller.
And curling bombs eat up a decent amount of ink, so you only have 2 or 3 good swipes in you with your main weapon before it gets eaten up. So a nice full wipe situation forced here by Spanish Army. They lose 2 in the process, but Molot and Jord are going to stay alive here. Molot actually not even worrying about the tower. They're going to leave that to Jord again. You want your long-range weapons on the tower because they can have an impact while still playing the objective here. Stay Fresh trying to find a way back into the middle part of the map, while Spanish Army has gotten a good amount of map control in here. We see Cassie trying to pick somebody off with that Splat Roller. They're going to be smart and not jump down yet, and still find the kill onto Airmo. Not sure how that happened. It might have been with the straight curling bomb, but that's going to be a 2-down situation forced once again, and Stay Fresh Black really having some life breathed into them here.
Yeah, it's a really interesting game. Like, there's a lot of team fights happening, a lot of 3-4 down situations, but it's more than halfway into the game, and the biggest push right now is 74 points. That's like almost unheard of. And I don't know, it's really weird. Spanish Army, they've got a strong foot on right now. Wow, nice pick with the blaster there. So they're going to be pushing up onto the platform. They've got the Inkstorm going, and if they can hold this platform here, this is going to be an easy lead for them. They are getting more picks. It's just completely up to their team play right now. Again, as I said, it's all about holding the opposing team's platform. Even if they just kind of move up here and die, as long as the tower's still moving, it's going to be nice for them. And they are going to get the lead here. There it is. So they got the lead, and now they're just looking to kind of basically just accentuate this as much as they can. It doesn't really matter at this point. There's a minute and a half left in this game. They just want to get as many points on the board as they can, and then they can play defense.
Yeah, Bryce getting backed up behind a wall there. That's going to be 3 down for Spanish Army, but as long as one person stays alive, they could potentially jump in. Layla's going to fall, though, so no members of Spanish Army contesting that one. They got essentially what they came for, but a minute and 10 is still perfectly enough time to get to that halfway mark, which is going to be good enough for the lead here. Like you said, pretty unheard of to see a push not go past the halfway mark with a minute or fewer left in the game. Both teams trading players out here as Baptist is going to try and pop that splashdown. Not going to be enough here. Map control still definitely in favor of Spanish Army here, so it looks like the play here for Stay Fresh Black is going to be to build up those specials. They have the splashdown of the roller and the ink armor at the ready. They're going to wait for the NZAP to pop it, which they did just there. They're going to get a great pick on the Molot, and this could warrant another push here from Stay Fresh Black and potentially a shift over of the lead.
Yeah, this is actually huge. Stay Fresh Black is in a really good position right now. As long as they can deal with that range blaster, the range blaster has to go down, as well as the heavy splatling is like your next biggest threat. If they can't deal with those, they're not going to get a good push off. And the Inkstorm's going to come out now. There's 20 seconds seconds left in the game. Stay Fresh Black didn't get the push they were looking for on those picks. And wow, yeah, they're still dropping players. This is going to be huge. Stay Fresh Black needs to come out on top here if they want to take this.
3 down, and they had no specials to contend with. The ends up the last one alive. Molat going to get on the tower just to make sure that no overtime push occurs, and the Stingray just to ensure everything. Nice job by
Win confirmed.
Another
the win confirmed Stingray.
Win confirmed.
So fantastic play by Spanish Army there. They got that really good push in there. And again, it was one of those situations where it wasn't going exactly as planned, but they still got a lot of points on the board because of it. And because that happened so late into the game, it was pretty much all they needed. They didn't really need to do more than that. The 50-point push is gonna secure it for them. And really good play, really good decision making on that front. So good job. Spanish Army is now 1-0 over Stay Fresh Black. And we're going to be moving on to game 2, which is going to be Splat Zones on, is it the Reef, I think? Let me take a look here. Yeah, Splat Zones on the Reef.
I definitely want to shout out Bapt there, a 19K A coming out for Stay Fresh Black. So breathing a lot of life into their team and getting a lot of picks, but just could not capitalize them on the right moments. And I think a big portion of that is not only the range blaster, but also the Stingray that they had in the form of that heavy splatling that kept a lot of bodies for Stay Fresh Black off the tower. It stopped that early game push that might have been a winning push had it been able to get off, as they had gotten 3 members of Spanish Army down. So we'll have to see if that offensive aggressive play can continue on as we move on now to Splat Zones on the Reef, which pretty well lends itself even for Splat Zones to aggressive play like that.
Absolutely. It's a very Splat Zones on this map is very similar to what we saw in Inkblot Art Academy Tower Control. It's kind of about getting that zone and pushing up onto the opponent's team's the platform, and just making it hard for them to get to the zone. There's not really too many secure ways out of your base. There's like 3, and most of them can just be watched if you have like a mid or long range weapon too. And wow, and actually very interesting exchange happening at the start. All but 2 players of Stay Fresh Black, I keep forgetting their team name. All but 2 players of Stay Fresh Black dropping. They're going to be able to take that zone, and it's not the best start you could ask for. They are going to get some points on the board, but it's up to them to actually kind of hold the map control here, which is difficult when you only have 2 players alive. But no, Spanish Army is going to be pushing back. There's 2 players down now, and they're going to be pushing in. They're going to try and take this lead. They got the specials up. They're painting the zone. It's going to be theirs. So good job to them reacting to that that opening play that Stay Fresh Black got on them, and now they're going to be pushing up, trying to get that map control. They're still finding the picks. This is good play from them right now. This is very good play.
And it's important to note that neither of these teams changed up their weapon comp at all. So both teams feeling very confident with their weapons. The Spanish Army is going to gain the lead here. 3 down on the side of Stay Fresh Black. So Spanish Army really finding their footing after that early push from Stay Fresh Black, trying to hold on to map control here. This can be another map where it can be somewhat difficult to get out of your spawn if you're trapped there for too long. We see Cassie trying to use this left-hand side alleyway to get out. Gets the kill there on the Molat. The curling bomb. We're seeing way more picks than I would have thought with that weapon. Smartly backing off. Does not want to have to expend that splashdown yet. We'll use it instead on the zone. Smart play there, and even dodges another splashdown and gets the kill into Airmo. Cassie making huge plays here, but they have to get into the zone quickly as Spanish Army is about to get into single digits. Bapt is going to seal it though with that splashdown. Major penalty of 69 given, and that will extend this game by quite a bit.
So Stay Fresh Black did really, really good job pushing in there. They didn't just kind of run in. They didn't get picked off. They did a fantastic job. They knew they had some time left, and they used that time well. They got the most value out of the time that they kind of wasted just trying to wait for a pick, wait for the team to be in a good position. They didn't do the solo queue thing of just like running in alone, trying to be a hero and dying. They had some fantastic teamwork, and that's what's keeping them in the game right now. It looks like Spanish Army has a pretty good job trying to push back in right now. It's a 4v4. No one's died yet. Specials are flying up. And wow, actually, Team Stay Fresh Black is getting a lot more points out of this than I thought they would.
Yeah, they used their specials at the right time. They had that ink armor to deal with a lot of the engagements there. They also had that suction suction box coming out. Can they get back into the zone? No, a big penalty given of 60 to Stay Fresh Black. So this game's going to go on for quite a while longer, getting all the way to 14, which on just about any other map and against any other team might be great. But a push to 10 already happening for Spanish Army, so it's not going to be a takeover of the lead. However, they will get the zone back. 2 down on the side of Spanish Army. The only thing they really have to worry about now is that Stingray that Jord is currently sitting on back over by the Spanish Army spawn.
This is a penalty game now. It's basically just like a reset. It's like you're playing from the very start of the game. The only difference is Spanish Army right now has the lead, and well, I mean, they have the lead right now, but it might not last for long. Stay Fresh Black is doing a fantastic job holding his defense. They only have 16 points left on the penalty, and once that's gone, it's pretty close to the lead. It's just a short walk until they have the lead. And Spanish Army right now needs to just, oh wow, they got the zone. That's exactly what I was just going to say. They just need to like get the zone. They need to get that penalty, even if they all die for it. As long as they can refresh that penalty, they're good and they're in a good spot. But they didn't just do that. They didn't just refresh the penalty. They took the zone and they kept it. So good job. Although Stay Fresh Black is going to be able to push back in right now, and it looks like they're going to take control. And they got to do all of that again.
Yeah, the penalty actually ticks down a lot quicker than you might think. So we saw a huge penalty of 60 get melted down like it was nothing here. Spanish Army able to get the zone back, though. A big penalty now of 45 is what Stay Fresh Black would have to work through if they are able to get the zone back. Jord trying to use the Stingray to great effect. But on a map that's more square than straightforward, like something akin to Manta Maria or something like that, or Port Mackerel even, it can be a little bit tougher to find those kills with the Stingray. So I'm a little surprised that they didn't go with the heavy splatling Deco variant. That would have been nice to have for the zone itself, being able to just put some bubbles on the tower, have them as defensive allies, and also just pop them whenever you need to. But now with 40 seconds left, Stay Fresh has no specials to contend with. They now get one in the form of a splashdown, but they'll have to use those very effectively here, as Spanish Army has complete control of mid for the most part.
Yeah, so Stay Fresh Black is in a rough situation right here. They've done such a good job holding the zone. They've actually had control of the zone for much longer in this game than Spanish Army has. But because Spanish Army has that lead and such a huge penalty that they can just keep refreshing, all they got to really do is just kind of bomb the zone, take control, refresh that penalty, and they'll keep the lead. And that's what they've been doing for the most part. As long as they can capture that zone, they're set. And that's how they've been playing. They don't really care about winning these team fights like huge and staying alive. All they got to do is just keep refreshing that penalty. That's why they're still in this game. That's why they're going to win. And it's a good job by them to be able to recognize that situation and actually kind of act upon that. So fantastic job. Spanish Army is going to take the set 2-0 over... why do I keep forgetting this team's name? Stay Fresh Black.
Stay Fresh Black.
I'm saying it like every 5 seconds. Every single time I say it, it just keeps leaving my brain.
I think it's just the fact that their actual in-game name doesn't have SF or something like that in it, because Spanish Army, they have SA, so it's like, oh yeah, Spanish Army, but they just have the little Triforce looking dots as their clan tag. So it's not as easy to remember who they are, but I got to give props to the resilience of both teams here. For Spanish Army, of course, they faced the adversity of winning that first set, being told that it didn't count at all, and having to play another set with Stay Fresh Black, a team that was able to defeat them in the winners quarterfinals. So the fact that they were able to 2-0, face the bad news, come back, 2-0 them again in pretty close sets as well, is very nice. And then Stay Fresh Black, of course, being told that they were given a second chance, fighting their hardest. Bapt, of course, in that first game, getting a 19 KA, having a lot of resilience and doing very well against Spanish Army. It just was not enough. If this was a best of 5, we might see this one go to a game 5, I'm sure, because of how close these two teams are. But congratulations to Spanish Army, as they're going to be the team making it into that top 12.
Yeah, again, Stay Fresh Black was the team that knocked Spanish Army into the